On today's episode of our podcast, man, do we have the best guest for you.
In this video, I'm going to be covering the different types of microphones you might encounter when it comes to podcasting, whether you're launching a new show or looking to upgrade your existing rig. We'll break down two different types of microphones, their pros and their cons, so you can figure out which option is for you, so you can always sound your best. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Chances are you're here because you want to learn about podcasting or you want to learn more about podcasting specifically from the pros. Well, easy to say, you're in the right place. I'm Quinn from The Podcast Consultant, and today we're going to be diving into a crucial component when it comes to producing your podcast: the microphone you use. Be sure to stick around until the end of this video, as I'm going to share some specific tips around how you can maximize your microphone's potential and make sure that your show sounds professional. All right, let's jump into it. Out of the gate, a bad-sounding podcast is completely avoidable. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Can't wait to share with you what this guest has to say.
Poor audio quality is an easy way to drive listeners away. And not only that, but it's actually going to negatively impact the way you present yourself and your brand online. Far too many podcasts have great content, but the quality of their audio actually makes it really hard to listen to them. An easy way to get around a poor quality sounding podcast is picking a high quality microphone. I know, it sounds like a no-brainer, but here I am explaining it. The best part about it is that taking the time to build out a rig that's going to make you sound good is a really easy way to separate you from all of the podcasts out there that don't sound that great. In the podcasting space, you typically encounter two different types of microphones: dynamic microphones and condenser microphones. Generally speaking, dynamic microphones are durable and versatile. They're the bread and butter of not just the podcasting industry, but the recording industry as a whole. Dynamic microphones are great because they can handle loud sounds very well, and they're way less sensitive to background noise. As we mentioned in another episode, if you're recording in an untreated room or a noisy environment, or you're looking for more of that broadcast radio sound, the dynamic microphone is going to be the right pick for you. One of the most popular models of dynamic microphone that exists in the podcasting space is this guy right here. This is the SM7B by Shure Microphones. That said, there are a lot of different microphones that can give you a similar sound on the market today, and we tend to recommend the Rode PodMic or the Shure MV7X. We've written detailed articles on both of these microphones available on our blog, as well as a step-by-step on how to set them up for properly recording. Check out the links below for more details. Next up on the list, condenser microphones. These microphones are way more sensitive than dynamic microphones and capture a broader range of frequencies. While the advantage is that they capture a more subtle nuance of your voice, it's a lot easier to mess up recording when using one because of how sensitive they are. Not only that, but the likelihood of picking up background noise, especially in untreated rooms and actually most recording environments, is a lot higher. We don't usually recommend these types of microphones to clients, but one of the more popular ones on the market today that you may have seen floating around is the Blue Yeti condenser microphone. When it comes to picking a microphone, the way the microphone captures your voice can add a bit of style and character to your podcast. If you're wondering what sound you're looking for, there are so many great videos online comparing microphones and recording them side by side, so you can get a good idea of what your voice might sound like recorded on one of these microphones. That said, when it comes to picking a microphone, as you've heard me say before, I'm saying now, and I'll continue saying, you have to consider the room you're recording in first and foremost, and then there are factors of budget and other technical parts you could get into. A dynamic microphone is always going to be the most cost-effective and user-friendly microphone you can buy. And while they're affordable, you're not compromising on quality, so long as you pick the right model. The goal here is to provide listeners a great experience so they can focus on who you are, what your message is, what your brand is about, and not get frustrated by the poor audio quality of your podcast and most likely just turning it off. The last thing we want here is for a potential client or customer to check out your podcast. They're trying to understand your business and who you are and what you do. They're thinking about hiring you, but they're really struggling to just listen to your content, and it's always going to be avoidable. While a condenser microphone might capture more of the subtle nuance of your voice and provide a smoother character, generally speaking, the margin for error is way higher on those microphones, and we would suggest not going that route. Here are a few simple tips to make your recordings sound even better. Number 1, use a pop filter. Pop filters are little windshields that sit in front of or on top of your microphone that help eliminate some of those more sounds that you would get when you're recording without one. We recommend getting a fitted one, or there are a lot of generic ones online that you can just buy on Amazon. Tip number 2, positioning your microphone correctly. Paired with a pop filter, positioning your microphone correctly is crucial when it comes to getting a clean, crisp recording. Tip number 3 is room treatment. We've covered this in another video, so you can actually go watch that right here. The microphone you buy will be at the mercy to some degree of the room you record in. You can use foam, curtains, furniture, and other things to dampen the room to make sure that your recording has minimal reflections and sounds the best. At the end of the day, people who listen to your podcast are both potential fans and potential customers. Choosing the right microphone will always depend on the recording environment, your budget, and the desired sound quality you're looking for. However, creating trust with your audience starts with sounding great. Dynamic microphones are great microphones for a variety of environments, tried and true, and are used in thousands of podcasts all over the world today. On the other hand, condenser microphones might offer a far more sensitive recording, but the margin for error is much greater and probably not worth the hassle. And don't forget, we're going to be doing a deep dive on microphone accessories and other things to help make the most of the microphone you buy in other videos, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss it. If you need more personalized advice or would like to hire one of our engineers to consult with them about what microphone is going to be the right option for you, you can always book a free discovery call with us here at the Podcast Consultant in the link below. We'd love to help you share your message with the world and take the hard parts out of podcasting. That way you can get back to having great conversations with engaging guests and sharing your brand with listeners and viewers online. Thanks again for watching. What microphones do you use to record your podcast? Let us know in the comments. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future industry tips from podcast professionals like us. See you next time and happy recording.